Hey, welcome to Rocking with Nostalgia. Today, we're going to take a look at my Nightmare on Elm Street collection.
You are all my children now.
Hey there, welcome again to Rocking with Nostalgia. If this is your first time to the channel, please subscribe. We talk all things nostalgia here from 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and today we're going to get back to the collecting side of things, where I'm going to show you my Nightmare on Elm Street collection. So I don't know about you guys, but the big three slasher series, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Friday the 13th, each one of them has been my favorite at some point, and I really can't decide. You know, one day it's Nightmare on Elm Street has been my favorite, another day it's Halloween, another day it's Friday the 13th. But I do know for sure that as a kid, Nightmare on Elm Street was my favorite, without a doubt. Freddy was definitely my favorite. And so my collection reflects that. I have the most items out of any of the big three slasher franchises. So today I wanted to take a look at it. So, yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's get kind of the boring stuff out of the way, the kind of standard stuff. So just some home media things. This is Never Sleep Again it's the documentary, 4-hour documentary. It's amazing. This was the DVD release when it first came out. Then later on, I picked up the Blu-ray release, and I think this might have came with some additional, yeah, it looks like some bonus features were included on this. This is amazing. You used to be able to see this on some of the streaming services for free. I'm not sure if it is still around, but I would definitely check it out. More documentary stuff. So this came out just recently. This is called Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, and it's all about Robert Englund. This is the Steelbook that came out. I think this came out like within the last 6 months or so. I can't quite remember, but really awesome too. Again, it's just Robert Englund, but obviously it's going to focus on Nightmare on Elm Street for a large majority of it. I do also have the Blu-ray collection. Pretty standard set, nothing special about it. With that being said, these are my remnants from the DVD box set that used to be around. So there was just this extra book that kind of goes into, you know, some of the behind the scenes stuff, a little bit about each of the movies. And also the 3D glasses, which was for Freddy's Dead. I'm sure all you know about the 3D scene in that. So yeah, this was the box set that was on DVD. It was one of the best box sets, but like it was for VHS, once I had DVDs and a Blu-ray came out, I got rid of it. So I got rid of the DVD box set. Really disappointed in myself because the Blu-ray box set is nowhere near the quality of the DVD set. I'm gonna try to get the DVD set again. I've been looking for, you know, a reasonable price online. Hopefully we get a 4K box set soon. I do know they just announced that 4K version of the first Nightmare on Elm Street is coming probably sometime this fall. So maybe there'll be a set with all the movies included. But we'll see. So next up I have the Nightmare on Elm Street VHSs. So I have Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Part 3, The Dream Warriors. Part 4, The Dream Master, and Part 5, The Dream Child. Talk about some magazine and book things next. So first up, we have a Fangoria magazine that my buddy gave me. This is covering Wes Craven's New Nightmare, so just a few pages on it, nothing spectacular, but still cool to have for the collection. Speaking of Fangoria, so I will show you in a bit, but I have a issue dedicated to Freddy vs. Jason. Now, Freddy vs. Jason was, without a doubt, the most anticipated movie of my life at the time that it came out. Probably still is to this day. Me and one of my best friends, we had been, ever since, you know, Jason Goes to Hell, where Freddy's glove pops up at the end. Ever since that, we were always checking the internet, and this was like the early days of the internet, you know, where everything was extremely slow. There wasn't really much information out there, but like once a year, we'd find a new piece of information. oh, there's a new writer, or this is the idea they're going with, or something like that. And so it wasn't really until the internet became more ubiquitous and Bloody Disgusting, that website, came around when I really started getting news about Freddy vs. Jason. And by that time, you know, we were already into the late 90s, early 2000s, and, you know, finally came out in 03, I think it was. So anyways, Freddy vs. Jason, super anticipated for me, and when it did come out, I did buy the Fangoria that was dedicated to it, and in it came this double-sided poster. So we got Freddy on one side and Jason on the other. So super cool. I really wish I could find like a spinnable double-sided frame for it. I have never really seen anything like that besides like a really small 4x6 type frame. So I might have to make one, but I would love to have that up where you can spin it around. So I got that. This here was from the local newspaper, the area that I grew up in. So this just gives the review of Freddy vs. Jason. Let's see, what did they give it? They gave it 2.5 out of, I think they did out of 4 stars in the paper here. And then next up, I have The Nightmare Never Ends, which is a book on the entire series, the entire franchise. Check out my coffee table books video if you want to see more about this, but this is one of my favorite things I have in the Nightmare collection. Okay, let's look at some video game stuff. So, first up, the NES game, Nightmare on Elm Street. I used to own it. I got rid of all my retro games here about 10 years ago. I completely regret it. I did have Nightmare on Elm Street at the time. This instruction booklet is legit. It's real. It's the one I had that came with it. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't sell it with it. I probably could not find it at the time. So this is real. Now, what I wanted to do was rebuy the NES game and the box. However, the prices on it are crazy. It's like $200 for the game and a really beat up box. So I just bought a repo box. This was like $8 online. I really don't care. It's just for my display. Still waiting to find a decent price on the actual game cartridge, though. I sold it. I think I got like $40 for it at the time, and now the game's, you know, it's like $80 or so. It's crazy how much game prices, retro game prices, have skyrocketed, especially since the COVID era. So looking forward to that. So this thing is a PC Nightmare on Elm Street game, and I never even knew about this until a few years ago. So I bought this. Let's see what's in it here. So yeah, I bought this, got a really good price on it on eBay. I usually do pretty good if I wait a long time for an item. Just be on the lookout, and eventually you can usually get a good price. So we have the instruction booklet here, and then we have a floppy disk. So 2 of them here. Let's see if there's anything else. Nope. So we got the disc 1, disc 2. Super cool. Again, I've never played this. Obviously I don't have a floppy disk system anymore. I'm sure I could probably find it through ROMs and play it on an emulator, but I've not done that. But I love this. It's in great condition. Just super cool for the display. Next, let's take a look at some of the action-y figure type things. So first up, we have a Funko Pop keychain. So funny thing with this is my mom absolutely hates Nightmare on Elm Street. She doesn't like horror at all. She thinks he's terrible. And so I had this keychain at her house one time. She's like, "Oh, that's so cute." And I go, "It's Freddy." And she go, "Oh, I don't like it." So, but yeah, I used to have this. It's really beat up. So I just put it in my display case here so I don't ruin it anymore. Next, we have from NECA, the Nightmare on Elm Street game figure. I need to pull this out of the box. This is super cool. I don't have any of the other NECA figures, but I love just the 8-bit style they did with these. And I love that they, they mirrored the look of the box that I just showed for NES. So thought that was super cool. This thing is weird. It's cool. It's called Max FX, and it's made by Matchbox. And this is something else. I don't remember seeing it as a kid, so I got this fairly recently. It's freaking cool. I mean, look at the box. How awesome is that? Great design on it. I love Freddy down here in the corner. Just the overall look is pretty awesome. Let's do the gloves next then. So you saw I had in my intro video here. So this is one of the officially licensed ones that, you know, this is actually like heavy duty. It's not sharp, obviously, but it's legit. I think these go for about 75 bucks or so, but I got this on Goodwill's version of eBay. I got a really great price on it, like seriously 20 bucks I think with shipping. So super awesome for the display. You can see in the picture here that I finally found like a good mannequin hand for it to display it. So yeah, this was super cool. Really like this. But my favorite here is going to be the one that I had ever since I was a kid. Let's see if I can fit this. Still get this on. Okay, I can. Barely. It's tight. All right, so this was the officially licensed glove. I think I got this in 1993. I was Freddy for like second or third grade. I can't remember. So I went with my dad for Halloween shopping, and when I came home with the whole Freddy stuff, my mom was so pissed at my dad because, again, she hates Freddy. She thinks it's terrible. And however, this was like my favorite costume as a kid. So I had the glove, I had the face mask, and the hat. The mask I actually had for many years, and finally, like a year or two ago, the last time I pulled it out, it just completely disintegrated. It's like that rubbery stuff. So really disappointed about that. I might try to find one on eBay if there's any. They're still out there from that era. And then last up, we have the ripoff brand here. I'm not going to try to put this on. It looks like crap. It feels like crap. The quality is crap. But I think I bought this just to have an extra set on hand. I can't remember why, but this was cheap too at the time. It wasn't very expensive. But yeah, so I got the 3 different gloves. Really cool for the display case. But again, this one is not very good. Okay, so let's talk about signatures and stuff and meeting Robert Englund. So this was me and my buddy. We met Robert Englund. This was last year, I think, 2023. So this was the second time I met Robert Englund. The first time I met him, I did not get a picture with him because he only does professional photographs. So what I did get during the first time, which I think was like 2017, I got this poster signed here, the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 French poster. And so you can see he signed it. He says, "For Alex, sleep kills, Freddy." I will have an episode of Are They Cool in Real Life about Robert Englund, so be on the lookout for that. But I love this poster here. I love international posters to get signed. I just think they have a really cool look to it. So yeah, so then last year, since I already had met him, I did not need to get a signature again, but I still wanted to get a picture with him, so I paid for the professional photograph, which is what you saw there. And then the other thing I have is Nightmare 2. So I love Nightmare 2, and I absolutely love this poster. It's so classic. And so I met Mark Patton, who was in the movie. He was the main star. And then Kim Myers, she was also one of the big stars in the movie. I'm sure you know who those people are. So yes, again, I love this poster. They were both super cool to meet too. So I wanted to get this signed. I do have one more signature. I'll show you in just a bit here. So here we're looking at a doll from Spencer's, the store Spencer's. It was called the RIP Horror Series. I have an entire video about my entire collection of these, so go take a look at that. So I'm not going to go over this too much, but the other one I have is one that was very popular, and a lot of people have this, and this is the Talking Freddy Krueger. Before I did this video, I went and looked and went through my eBay purchase history, and I got this for 60 bucks with shipping. So you know, if you're patient with these things and you're willing to wait a while for a good deal, you'll find one. And so again, 60 bucks, I feel like it's great. This is in excellent condition, and it's still, last I knew.
Hi, I'm Freddy. Welcome to Elm Street. Let's be friends. Welcome to Elm Street.
So it still works. You probably know about this. This was like they reused the Pee Wee Herman doll that was exactly like this. You know, similar boxing. It had the pull chain thing to it. It was talking, and they just repurposed it into Freddy. And the great thing about this is, again, this was Matchbox 2, so it actually, if we put these side by side, hope you can see that. You know, they got similar aesthetics, so super cool there. But I love how in the 80s, you know, horror things and things for adults were totally geared towards kids, and we all survived. So this is 8 and up, you know, ages 8 and up, which is awesome. So a lot of people have this. This is pretty common in any Nightmare on Elm Street collection, but this is without a doubt one of my favorites. We have some board games. There were 2 board games. So this one came out in 1987. This just is called Nightmare on Elm Street, the game. I have actually never played this yet. I got it maybe a year or so ago, and I just have not got around to it. But it seems cool. I really don't know what it's about. This one looks like, based on just looking at it very quickly, it's more of a card-based game, so the cards are going to kind of dictate your actions on the game board. The cards themselves are freaking awesome looking. They got awesome artwork on it. Again, I don't really know much about this. I've seen some videos on YouTube seeing people play it. I can't remember exactly, you know, the mechanics of the game. So this was one of them. Came out, like I said, in 87. This is a game that's for 2 to 6 players and ages 8 to adult. So again, targeting those kids, which is awesome. We also have the Freddy game, which this came out in 1989, and this was also for ages 8 and up. This one I also have not played, unfortunately. This one seems to be more of a die-based game. So you roll a die, you move spaces, and then you draw cards and so on. And it has all these little characters that you can see. So you make your way around Freddy's house, and again, I don't really know the objective of it. Actually, let me just read this here on the back. Maybe we can figure out what it is. So it says, the place, Freddy Krueger's house. The plot, there's a gathering at Freddy's old house. Everyone's there, including Freddy Krueger. There's a problem, however. Freddy has possessed one of the characters, and no one knows which one. It could even be you. Your job, should you decide to play the game, is to expose Freddy and try to eliminate him before he goes on one of his nightmarish rampages. Freddy, of course, will do everything to keep his identity a secret until the time is right for him to attack. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. So somehow your character is assigned, you're actually Freddy, must be possessed by him, and it's up to the other characters to figure out who that is. Then the last few things I want to show you is what I have still up on my wall. I did not want to pull these down. One thing that I forgot to include was my Freddy Madball that was sitting right behind me on my shelf right here. The company that came out with these, I can't remember the name right now, they came out with an entire series of a bunch of horror icons, so I will eventually show all of them sometime in a video, but here is Freddy looking awesome as always. So here's the entire collection in the display case. I got this case at Goodwill a few years ago. I would like to refinish it and either restain it or repaint it at some point, but I'm pretty happy with it, though it is kind of crowded in there. But what I want to show you was the top half here. So on the left, we're looking at a Freddy Halloween decoration. One of my best friends was working at Walgreens at the time, and they had this on clearance, and with his employee discount, I was able to get this for super cheap. This postcard thing was given to me by Robert Englund. He handed them out at his signing the first time I had met him. So I thought it was pretty cool looking and definitely worth a frame. Next up, we have a tin sign that my friend got me from a flea market. Super cool. And then here's that Freddy vs. Jason dedicated magazine that I thought was a Fangoria. It's not, it's Starlog. But yeah, this was super awesome. And again, I loved Freddy vs. Jason, so I wanted to commemorate it as best as possible. Then last up here is a poster. If you pre-order the Never Sleep Again documentary, you receive this poster that was signed by Heather Langdon Camp. However, it sucked because they folded the thing when they sent it to you, so you can see all the creases, as well as the poster fell off and broke, so there's a few nicks from glass that happened a couple years ago, but still a cool poster nonetheless. So that's everything. Let me know what you think. Let me know about your collection, if you do have a Nightmare on Elm Street collection or any of the other famous slashers. So I'll see you next time.